There's 90 days to go. Is it achievable, sir?
Most of the part has been achieved. First of all, I must congratulate the security forces, and I new happy year to my colleagues who are joining me at this place. So whatever the target has been fixed by the government of India, it is almost, we cannot say that 100% or ideologically it may not be achievable by that time, but physically by eliminating the top cadres and then the middle cadres and the lower functionaries, that will be done. Majority of the, we can say the public confidence will be regained, the confidence of the security forces will be regained. So that is a big achievement by 31st of this year. So that we can say, ultimately we can say that the government has achieved its goal, whatever they have set for this 31st March 2026.
Okay. Your opening comments, General Kulkarni?
Definitely. I personally feel Karthikeyan is very much feasible and more for. I still have distinct memories of 2008, 2009 when the Home Secretary, then Mr. Pillai, had very clearly stated when he was addressing us that over 40,000 square kilometers of an area in India, you cannot even have no control whatsoever. And Mr. Chidambaram said even much more. He said, oh, there's so much, over 200 districts, 20 states influenced, and over 92,000 square kilometers is under their influence. And if you look at it, just as part of statistics, Israel is only 20,000 square kilometers. If you take Golan Heights, it's about 22,000 square kilometers. And here we have statements in India that 40,000 square kilometers is something that we cannot even touch or control. That was the kind of thing to what it is today, to just about 3 districts in Chhattisgarh and just about 11 districts across the country. I think it's a huge down. And that is possibly, we have the IG, Nathaniel Swami was a dear friend. As a youngster, we were all together. He's written that article. Just see the amount of effort they have put in, tremendous amount of effort. And the kind of police forces, the kind of training that has gone in, the lives that lost is something mind-boggling. If that be so, and to bring it to this level, I think it's feasible because the police is determined, the paramilitary forces are determined, the states are determined, the government has done so much for them, whether it is in terms of housing or whether it is in terms of giving them employment, whether it is in terms of improving the police communication setup or improving the weapons. So there is so much that has gone in. I'm quite positive. Of course, I agree with the DGP that it is always, you cannot say that 100% it can be done away with. Definitely under control, that is one. Second, and very important thing is nothing like this. Any slight complacency also can bring it back because after all, it's terrorism, it's nationalism, and that is why it is called the left wing extremism. So all of it combined, yes, there's a huge downfall, and I think the Home Minister, I would go along with his optimism that 31st of March 2026, I won't use the word eradicated, but I can definitely say it will be 100% under control. There's been nothing, the kind of surrender, the kind of kills, the kind of things that are happening. I think we can be hopeful, and the nation at least will not say that there are 40,000 square kilometers of an area in our own country that we cannot access, which has come down to less about 4,000 square kilometers, and it is now reduced to, I'm told, just about 3. Like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. This war against Naxalism is both ideological and military on ground, because to expound it, when the communist leaders in 50s and 60s started saying ye azadi jhuti hai, they were trying to discredit Indian democratic structure, and ideologically and through other slogans they took it down. An ultimate objective was to seize power through armed struggle, and they tried to romanticize it. But Mr. Nathaniel, before I come to that, I really want to know, as a citizen of this country, what is working now? I mean, to the last 4 or 5 years, what is working now? These graphics tell me the sort of success which security forces are having now in last 10 years is stupendous.
My good wishes to all your panelists and even the viewers. I wish them a very happy new year. In fact, regarding the problem that had crept up a few decades back, the problem was that our forces were not fully prepared to tackle these chaps. initially when they raised their heads in West Bengal, the CRPF was able to control them, and within a few years it was almost finished. But later on, they again started having their roots down south in Telangana, previous Andhra Pradesh, and other parts of southern India, and of course, right stretching from Nepal to South India. The problem was that when the forces started getting inducted in Chhattisgarh, that time we suffered quite a lot of casualties. And that was not because of anything, but because the familiarity of the terrain was not there with the security forces. So gradually they got hold of the situation over there. And over a period of time, they have been so well trained that they have been able to take them on. And even our intelligence has become so robust that we were able to track them down wherever they were hiding. And in recent years, we were able to conduct operations in even Abujmart, which was hitherto known as a fortress for these Naxal ideology people. And because of the ideology that they had, and because of the shelter that they were getting from the locals by either force or persuasion, they were able to sit comfortably in Abujman. But once the roads were constructed in these areas, the forces were able to penetrate deep into Abushmart and get control over the villages, and thereby depriving the intelligence for the Maoists and getting better intelligence for our own security forces. That was the reason why we were able to penetrate everywhere. And main thing was the construction of roads also. Because of the construction of roads, the forces were able to penetrate even deeper. And otherwise, prior to that, prior to the construction of roads, whenever forces were advancing in these areas, they were generally mined, the roads were mined, and the vehicles were blasted also.
Okay.
So
Let me ask one political question to you, sir. But you must have encountered it. I want your comment on that. What about there's Maoism, Naxalism, but there's a institutionalized political communalism. Institutionalized leftism, which celebrates this. Did you encounter it when you were going for the operation? That culture.
No, at least the forces, the central forces have no such problem at all. And we had the independence to carry out operations whenever we had any intelligence from the intelligence bureau or other security forces. And we were able to carry out operations independently without any problem. And that was helping us in
Okay.
chasing these fellows and capturing them or even eliminating them whenever there was an encounter. So there will be no political problem as such because the forces were given a free hand to take on these militants, these Maoists, wherever they were present.
Okay. Mr. Ramnivas, do you think that the change in strategy played a bigger role, or the tech innovation which that has happened in the last 20 years in terms of surveillance and detection?
Basically, there are so many factors. First, the policy decisions at the state level as well as the central level.
Okay.
So the second thing is the structural changes in the Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar, and the CRPF. As my colleague has told, that initially they were totally unknown to this terrain. They were not familiar with the terrain, so the structural changes were made in the operations also, that the locals were included in the operations, and then the induction training were basically conducted for the CAPF also, and then the involvement of the public, that is the local villagers and then the local press people, and then the perception at the center also, and the perception at the state and the central level also changed. So many factors basically included in everything, and that is why the central police forces, the state police forces, and then the central government, state government, and the local public and the local in Jharkhand also and in Chhattisgarh also, particularly DRG groups and the involvement of the local guerrilla forces, we can say the guerrilla forces would, and the surrender Naxals were also involved in operations. So all these things, they made the drastic changes.